Moving on to the cylinder, aka the soup can. So what a cylinder is a cylinder is a prism that has a circular base. Okay, so it looks like that. Something, it could look like that. It could be something really narrow and tall, like a toilet paper tube or a paper towel tube, any kind of piping. Those are all very good examples of cylinders. All right, and so the cylinder, one of the reasons we talked about in the last video about the area of the base times the height, as opposed to just breaking it down to length times width times height, is because it's the same thing with a cylinder. If I can figure out what the area of this base is right here, that bottom, and then think of it as like stacking a bunch of, minuscule slivers of that on top of each other, that's how you find your volume. So if you can find the area of your base times your height, you can find your volume. Well, think about that. Your base on a cylinder is a circle. How do you find the area of a circle, right? Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared. That's it. Just pi r squared. So to find the volume of a cylinder, you take the base times the height, right? And the height is just the height. Well, the base is the area of that circle. So the area of that base, so it would be pi r squared h is your formula that you're going to be using. But I just want you to know where that pi r squared comes from and why it's significant. So let's look at a couple problems. Volume of a solid, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to do that. All right, we just went over that. So if you look at this, this cylinder right here, this measure that they're giving me right here is diameter. All right, and in order to work with this formula, pi r squared h, I need r, not d. All right, so if the diameter is 14, right, that is some interesting writing I got here. If the diameter is 14, well then the radius is half of 14. So you just do 14 divided by 2, and the radius would be 7. All right, and then you just plug everything in. And so we're going to go volume. We're going to leave pi how it is because we're going to use the calculator. And then you have 7 squared, right? 7 squared. And then your h, your height, is 18. Okay, and so when we do these, we're going to go 18 times 7 squared, 49. So 18 times 49 is 882. And then times pi, which is 2770.9. All right, so we get 2770.9 for our volume, and that is going to be in cubic inches because you have inches inside here, so that would give you squared inches, and then you have inches in here, another one. So if you have squared inches and you're multiplying by inches, that would give you inches cubed. All right, and then another way to think about it is it's a three-dimensional shape, so you need a three-dimensional unit. All right, so 2770.9. All right, let's take a look. Another one. All right, now this one, it's pretty much just making sure you use the right thing. So the volume's pi r squared h. Well, pi is just pi. Now, is my r, is 6.2 going to be my diameter or my height? So look at that and ask yourself that. Well, it's on the side of the cylinder, right? And the diameter or the radius, whichever you're going to use, is always inside that base. Well, the bases are on the side in this one right here. So that's what we want to use. So our r is going to actually be 4.9 because they actually gave us radius this time, not diameter. And then my height is that 6.2 because if I took this and I kind of turned it up and stood it up, this would be the height going this way, right? If we turn it around, it would be 6.2. Okay, so let's take this and let's do some multiplying. All right, so we have 4.9 squared times 6.2 equals 148.862 times pi gives me 467.7. And then again, meters cubed. So these are by no means complicated problems. All right. You just need to go slowly enough where you can kind of look at them and get the information out there and figure it out, and just use the formula. And I hope having gone through these couple of videos, you kind of understand the formulas a little better now. So let's move on and look at some application problems in the next video.